Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to LEGO City Underground. Now we have one thing I want to do before we jump into the next level, just because these collectibles in particular, which this underground area is weird because like it ends nowhere, so you would have to use a car to go on that jump, kind of for no reason. But yeah, my goal is to go down to this, get that super brick, and then climb up and get the rest of these super bricks. It's a little odd that this is here, because there's definitely other places around LEGO City where it would have been beneficial to be able to climb, and just look how zoomed out this camera is. Meanwhile, just fly up to collect that one while we're over here. I think there might be another one down there, so I hate to have to jump down again, but I think I kind of have to jump down again. Now I have fall rescue enabled, so one would think that the fall rescue would stop some of that from stop you from being able to jump in the water, but I guess if you're landing in water, you're safe. I guess I was wrong. This is like one of the tallest climbs. See, yeah, it looks like there's something over there, but I'm gonna have to assume no. And if there is something over there, then I'm gonna have to assume that it's something that I would need a ability to reach, a helicopter or UFO, something flying. Yeah, so my mistake on that, I think. I always like to check behind waterfalls and see if there's something to collect. In this general vicinity there are several things, but that would be a mission. This is just a super brick. This is some kind of clue to something. That's some kind of clue to something. Back this direction, we've got some kind of clue. And over there is another clue. And unfortunately, none of the scanning stuff really plays any role. Mostly all I did was I got everything on this island. Which, yeah, I got most of what was on the dojo island, and that's all we need to worry about right now. We'll come back and get everything else. We need to move on to the bank city, which should be number 7, which I think might be this one. LEGO City Bank. We're going through about 2 levels per hour. Yep. Assignment number 5, dirty work. So we'll do 5 and 6, and then that would be 7 and 8 next recording, and we'd be halfway done. We can just skip all of those.
Hey, Chase, you in the bank?
I'm in a sewer.
Wow, did you take a wrong turn?
I can't bring up the scanning
the
mode.
instructions for the color gun.
Yeah?
Yeah, you're gonna need to fill it from a color swapper.
That sounds like an unusual thing to find in a sewer.
I agree. I just have this weird feeling there'll be one down there.
Alright, before we turn that, we can now scan. We have the super color gun, so there's kind of no reason to scan to do everything.
I hope the LEGO City PD gets discounts from a dry cleaner.
This is going to teleport us to a Whole different area. Intergalactic girl. The problem with LEGO games is you unlock all these minifigs, but by the time you've unlocked them, you can't really do anything with them. Like, there's no game left to play. It feels like if I was gonna reboot the LEGO series and make a more modern series, from not something that started 10 to 15 years ago, I would have some kind of profile interconnected save file where unlocking a character in one game unlocked it for a bunch of games. That way you would always be creating new characters. Perhaps there's a way you could use that system so it doesn't always mess. It would still be approachable for new players. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here.
I really don't want to know how this key ended up in a sewer.
Just didn't quite fit through there. Like, there's no way in this game to say, I want to play as a different character right now that I just unlocked. You'd have to go to a disguise station. You'd have to purchase the minifig. Purchasing the minifig
But I do
would
want to know
lower
how come it fits this lock.
my studs count.
What a significant looking red panel that is.
And so we don't really have to go through the...
Why couldn't I learn to swim backstroke?
We don't have to go through any of the difficult parts of this. What is this gonna do? Control a boat, and seems like we're getting a small slowdown when I hit the thing. Try again. It's a little wobbly. We still run into this in LEGO games. Speaking of LEGO games not really being programmed great, LEGO Brawls for LEGO Brawl for Apple Arcade is out, and I just watched someone cover it, and they were very unimpressed with the performance and with the game in general. It is one of the few non-TT style LEGO games.
It smells
It
like
is
these pipes are used to
instead
carry sprouts.
a group of players or a single player against AI taking control, kind of like Overwatch and Smash Brothers if you combine them together, and made a worse game in both cases. That's about the best way I think you could describe it. So we can avoid a decent amount of stuff. Now, when I'm scanning these guys, I guess we'll just stand around and do nothing instead of attacking me, which that's okay by me. Alright, fireman. Come on. I am confused, to say the least. Hope this doesn't throw me to the next level. think I may have to go through all the hassle anyways, just because I don't think the game
It worked.
is going to be able to figure out what I'm doing if I don't do it in the order it wants me to do. Yeah, so yeah, I'm not super surprised that a first attempt of a LEGO game on Apple Arcade or Apple and cell phones isn't a complete success, but it clearly is the way you've got to go. But I would much prefer to have a TT style game on Apple on a cell phone device. I'd much prefer that than something that's dumbed down and doesn't really have anything to do with building. Like this really was just Lego minifigures fighting.
I guess that's a color swapper then.
Yeah, it really was just Lego minifigures fighting for no reason, and they weren't really building anything. They were just controlling control points. Okay, that was nice. It got me a purple stud. It didn't do me any other favors though. I'm guessing that there just isn't anything else around here then. Alright. So we've done the entire level more than I really needed to. To the next section where it will take us into the museum. Oh, I forgot.
Chase,
There's another
I just
section
read
here.
some more. Keep a lookout for a red color swapper.
Right, red color swapper.
Whoa, this emerald. It's meant to be the most flawless one in the world. Not like those useless lumps of crystal they get out of the bluebell mine. I mean, they're valuable, but this thing, whoa.
So, there was no reason why we stole the emerald, by the way, as far as I can tell. That's just like another example of the game really having us do things for no reason. Which, like, fine, if this is supposed to be LEGO GTA the game, having us do crimes is alright, but I don't think they even phrased it in such a way where the people were demanding that you prove that you're a bad guy or something like that. So, like, Chase is oddly too eager to break the law. And the story is far too eager to
What?
have
Who
you
tries flushing an air mattress down the toilet?
do things without really any justification. Alright. Okay, scan mode time. Collect all 4 shield pieces. Investigate to uncover a clue. Alright, so both of those are in the same place. We have not seen this before. So there's some weirdness going on, to say the least. Does that mean that there's something else that unlocks here when we collect all 4 shield pieces? Are we potentially going to have to play this level twice? That would be the first time anything like that's happened. Some studs back there, but I don't think it's worth the effort to deal with any of that. Let's see. Take that guy out easily, I guess. Pull this. just trying to do a
That's
little bit
yellow
of
color
everything.
swapper, not red. I hope there's a red one somewhere else.
Interesting that there's a line of dialogue here for something that you wouldn't even have interacted with in the first run through. Like, you would have had to have Rex Fury, and if you had Rex Fury, you've played the whole game. That's confusing to say the least. It kind of goes to show that they didn't know what they were doing. That there's something completely disconnected with the people making specific parts of specific levels. All right. There pops some more things to find at a higher level. Let's see. We've got to mine this and then shoot this. And is there... Yeah, don't climb up the ladder. That's the main thing I need to avoid doing. And this clearly is something we wouldn't have done before. That didn't work towards any kind of goal of anything. It just was something a farmer could do. Probably because they had a mandate saying that the farmer had to be involved in every level. And this early level is before we would have been to the farm. Like, you would have just been up to the miner first time you played this. While that blows up, we might be better off looking around. Spending too much time and energy looking at all of this stuff. Yep. So we've got to climb over this, or you know what, we'll just jump and hope we do it well enough. I guess same is true for the firemen also. Like, it really feels like there's an unfinished experience going on here. That it's not counting towards any kind of goal or anything. Alright, so that got everything except for a skin and a vehicle. If we go into scan mode now, everything should be gone. Oh, it isn't gone. You know why? I bet I have to punch these. Color gun is right. Hitting this. So, unless there's something else we're supposed to be able to do, I either assume that there's nothing else, or I assume that the color gun wanted it to be red instead of... Like, my super color gun wouldn't even work, though. So I have to assume that this is just broken. And leave it as it is. Doing two things with the rubber ducks would be crazy.
I can almost taste that big old gemstone. The bell pepper emerald is gonna make me a fortune!
You know
a lot of
someone that can
dialogues
handle
in
the
these
sale?
early
No
levels.
need. We're stealing it to order. I've been doing some work for a private buyer, and he wants it real bad, so don't mess up. The last guy who messed up, Oh man, that was a real shame.
What happened?
Can't really
I
do
couldn't
anything.
justify employing him anymore, so he's sleeping with the fishes now.
What?
Yeah, he's a night watchman at the aquarium. I'll be in touch.
Too much dialogue, first of all, and second of all, just unnecessary on the second playthrough to have to deal with any of that. Not gonna push that all over the place. There's a vehicle called a relocate. So 5th level in, we are getting a small hint that Rex Fury is the person asking us to steal these things. Although, in actuality, I don't think it actually was Rex Fury that was asking him to steal these things. It was Forrest Blackwell. And Forrest Blackwell wanted us to steal the emerald for apparently no reason. We just see it in his home later on, which there's not anything really wrong with that, but the story just kind of consistently doesn't make sense on second look. I will grant him on first glance, I wasn't paying that much attention, so if most kids don't pay attention, yeah, maybe you won't run into a situation where the story, where you realize that what you're doing has really no connection to an overall goal or anything.
I better find the emerald and get out of here before someone catches me.
If you
Hey, Chase,
are
I
paying
got to the really
attention,
good part of the manual. You can use the color gun to turn things silver.
That kind of defeats the point of me robbing a bank, doesn't it?
It's not real silver, but it's close enough to make stuff all shiny and reflective. Useful if there are laser beams around. Capiche?
Yeah, that might be handy in this place.
Great.
it'd
Just
be
fill
nice
it
if
with
I had
silver
a
color if you see a swapper,
super-
and keep a lookout for the bell pepper
super
emerald.
safe
Call me
cracking
when you get out of the vault.
ability, because this is still slow. So yeah,
Huh.
there
Well,
probably
the emerald wasn't in there.
there might be a red brick around that. We need to scan and see if I need to really do all of these, or I think the lasers in part are going to be in their way, so I'll probably end up having to do a lot of it anyways. But let's see how this breaks down. Yeah, there's absolutely nothing in this room that we haven't collected, because this room is narrow enough that, of course, it wouldn't need any of that. Alright. Just a little spinning animation that doesn't need to exist. Just switch me. Stop playing the spinning animation. Again, if there was just some mod I could do where I removed some of the animations from this game, I think stability would increase significantly. Let's see. Just pretend like we know what we're doing.
Not in there either.
Alright. So that's wrong. They just put the they just put the valves right in front of them. It feels like the game should have expanded this level out. It really is a abbreviated experience. I mean, we could have been running around, opening more safes, finding valves, bringing the valves back to the same place. Ooh, wait a minute. Did I just finish this level? I'm hitting the laser beam. Can we skip this? No. Interesting, it's Rex Fury in the cutscene.
Now that is a jewel.
Whoever's in here, you are breaking the law.
I think they probably already know that, Phil. I guess I'm not getting out of here undetected then.
Alright, let's just scan again and make sure. Hey, they are actually attacking me. Interesting. An Ode to Joy is playing in the background, and it's nice to play classic music. They just tend to be problematic to bother to do any of that. So we had 3 areas in the sewers and 1 area in the museum, and then we come back later and we have a second museum heist we do where we spend several areas in the museum. This is also one of those areas full of bricks, so I think it's probably worth it to try and get them. Interesting, it just fast traveled me on the other side of that, but doesn't wanna let me. I don't think there's a red brick in this area. This would, like, super safe cracker would be so useful. And it's possible it exists, but it's not in this level where it would be most logical that you would find it. There we go. Let's look around. Are we mostly cool?
I've probably got enough bricks to use that super build now.
Let's do this. I don't think we've done this before. Like, there's no way this would have been available to us before. We don't even get to the space level until the next level, which there's so much that happens in between these levels that it's insane how much the numbered levels jump, and certainly that probably is affecting my experience and why the game feels like it is just all over the place. What does it say? Lego throne of some sort? Now throw rug on the wall.
The statue looks a lot more colorful in that painting.
Ah. There we go. So is that supposed to be Abraham Lincoln? So we unlocked the bank manager. Yeah, in a lot of ways these LEGO games kind of miss the point of the minifig in totality. Like, the minifigs are supposed to be these kind of unique, interesting things, not just something that you get and you're gonna have millions of them. It really isn't like a Hot Wheels toy, in my opinion. Like, unless you're a hardcore, and I mean really, really hardcore collector of Legos, most kids are only going to get 4 or 5 minifigs per set, and those would be big sets. If they're getting a small set, they're probably getting 1 minifig. The minifigs are probably not that unique or interesting in the sets that kids are getting, because you're mostly going to be getting Lego City characters, and thus just generic people, normal looking minifigs, non-licensed characters for sure. So when a Lego game gives you, what's the total? It's like 300 plus minifigs in this game. That's probably more than I personally have, even though I have, I would say, probably 5 years of buying a significant portion, 60 to 80% of everything that came out by Lego. Yeah, I don't think I have 300 minifigs. I wouldn't be surprised.
Maybe it's part of a combination.
I wouldn't be surprised if I barely even have 100 minifigs, and totally a lot of them are boring characters. Like, the number one thing I would like to do to improve my Lego City would be to be able to buy more people packs, which is the thing that they've started doing. Is this just an elevator? Like, buy more people packs of different varieties and fill up the Lego City so it feels like it's actually populated by a reasonable amount of people. I don't want to fill it up to the point where it's overpopulated like Manhattan or anything, but there's, in nearly every Lego set, and there's nearly an insignificant, there's always a inefficient number of minifigs that you get. And I don't feel as though these Lego games somehow are the test market by Lego. I think Lego, first of all, is super hands-off with these games and doesn't really care. In fact, they probably are too hands-off, looking at how I feel this game was age inappropriate. Is this randomized? 7, 3, and then 10. No, I don't think it is. So 7, 3. So there's several attempts here to make a combination work. We've seen it happen in a lot of Lego games, though, and the level of success is always not as high as I'd like it to be. Alright. Now that's open. We can... Why did we need the load to run from one area to the other area? Same is true for vehicles. Like, everything I just said about minifigs is true for vehicles also. There's considerably more vehicles in a Lego game than you would ever actually run into in the real world. Even if you were mostly into it. That is one of the appeal of Legos, though, is that if you are a kid that is more into cars, you could still be into Legos as a little bit. Like, it's probably not gonna supplant a Hot Wheels collection or anything like that, but it might subsidize that. Little lag there. Or you could be in the people and you could get minifigs, or you can be in the buildings. You can be in the animals. There's a decent, but not as varied as I would like it, collection of minifig animals. So Unless you're just into rock collecting, I think there's something for nearly everyone as far as LEGO is concerned. Alright, we need to scan. If I build that ramp, that's the exit. So did I miss something? No, I'm done. Like, I could ride this vehicle, but it's frankly not worth the time. So build the relocator, which is a thing I don't think you even...
All right. Jet-powered snowplow.
Yeah, you build it, but you don't unlock it in the first use of it, which is weird. And it's not going to put us into that chase sequence. So if you really wanted the chase sequence again, you're going to have to just play the game from the beginning. Yeah. While I may see the logic in a kid wanting to play intergalactic girl, I see no logic in somebody wanting to play as a bank manager. Yeah. Just imagine for a second all the action figures and even like Barbie dolls. If you go more the girl targeted toys, there's not ever been a line or series of game of characters that action figures that were just like built around boring people doing their job. Inherently, this is a problem with a lot of video games too. Is they spend way too much time making simulators. A lot of people do that are simulating a boring job. Like, if you're gonna play a game, you probably don't want to do a boring job. Right, I could run over there and try and collect all of those, but there's kind of no reason. Next we need to go not here, but here, the Apollo Space Center, and then let me just double check that is right. Yep, that is right. So this is a missing red brick level. Special assignment 6, Astronauty. So we went from robbing the bank and stealing the green emerald gem, and then we did a ridiculous amount of busy work in between it, and then we start here teleporting in as the
Ellie? Chan wants me to take a moon buggy.
Wow.
Yeah, but I can't get to it because it's in the shuttle surrounded by mechanics, and I'm in the control room.
Maybe you can do something to get their attention.
That's the last thing I want, isn't it?
No, because then they'll have to come to the control room, meaning you can sneak into the hangar.
Okay, I'll just try pressing some buttons then. What's the worst that can happen?
I gotta wait until the talking ends before I can pull up the scanner. So this would have been the first level, and here's the map of it. Still pretty useless. Fairly certain these are randomized, or there's a collection of them that it picks through. The fact that it never repeats a color makes it pretty easy. Alright. Scan mode time. Is there anything down here? Yes,
Confirming
there's...
safety measures, and yes, handbrake is applied.
So I guess flying a rocket is basically the same as being in a rodeo.
This is almost a direct reference to the fact that the other toy like this was a bowl, mechanical bowl.
Having your atoms scrambled by a teleport kind of tickles.
Yeah, man, boy does this give me whiplash the way the levels just move. There's a whole thing up there. Then come down here and you can open this for a shortcut. Not that you really need to. Seems like everything else is over on in the next platform.
Optimal rocket flight path. Flight path calculated as upwards.
There we go. Well, we'll not bother to go through the full cycle here. I don't think that there's a danger of the fights ending if I take these guys out, but I might just decide to erase a couple of them and leave the other two. Where is this gonna end up?
Checking shuttle air freshener is still functional. I can confirm that we are pine fresh. I repeat, pine fresh.
It seems like they're trying to do a airplane reference, which again doing references to a adult movie
Now to find
that's
some way of getting all those workers out of
from
the
a very long time ago is weird, to say the least. Then this one was particularly odd. Pull that. Pull this. This will be new. Space villain. Was the space villain ever a character in this game? I don't think so. And I kind of have this thought that maybe if I unlock all these characters and then we walked around LEGO City, there'd be more variety amongst the people.
I'll need an engineer to check the SRB nozzle
But again, the way everything works,
Tell me what the heck an SRB nozzle flex bearing actually is. Is
Like-
it the cup holder?
I don't think I can actually pull this in the direction it's supposed to go. Let's see. There's a scan to investigate for clues, and then nothing else. A
I
whole
guess
bunch of
destroying
stuff
those
you can
computers
destroy.
wasn't the answer.
Let's see. It says right here there is something. I see nothing. You need to come up here and find each one of these and see if that makes a new platform or something. This doesn't even look very NASA-y.
Now checking Soda levels at optimum, with 5 different flavors, including 2 diet sodas.
It looks like this track's got a hole in it.
Yeah, doesn't look like there's anything here.
Sheesh. I'm glad my watch doesn't take a battery this size.
This is like a special dynamite atomizer that's never used in the game again. Doesn't really make a lot of sense for them to make that special effort. Right. So if I was to jump down here and do this, now what are you gonna do? Game, you're gonna have me just jump through it.
Testing shuttle radio receiver.
This is Crazy Dave, coming to you with non-stop hits for the next 6 weeks.
Radio receiver tested A-OK.
Is there some things that I can kind of scan things and see if I can destroy them, but they would be kind of highlighted. There is that. I do believe the game mentioned that there was a secret item or something up above the roof. Hopefully this doesn't teleport us out in a different area. Alright.
Commencing final prep. Initiating rocket fueling.
Maybe what we do.
Rocket fuel level at 1% and rising. Rocket fuel
Get a
level
little
at
bit
2%
higher.
and rising.
Then we'll scan again.
Rocket fueling is stalled at 3%. I don't suppose anyone has a full gas can in their car. Anyone?
Just too many lines of
Someone's gonna
dialogue.
have to go to the gas station to get more fuel. This is embarrassing.
Okay. So I'm trying to see if there would be something here. Something that we could grapple with or shoot in any way. Let's see what this does and hope it doesn't just move us to another area.
Yep, that might get their attention. I hope that vent up there leads to the hangar.
Alright. So
Whoa! Power levels have dropped off the scale. All engineering staff return to the control room and check systems.
investigate clues to uncover
I repeat,
surprises is all
engineering
it
staff
says.
return to the control room.
Ah, there was a thing there, space scientist. As we're micro stuttering and lagging. I don't even know if I think micro stuttering at this point is probably an inaccurate description of what's
I wonder if
going
my driving
on.
license covers space rockets.
Alright, where are we as far as collectibles? We're still looking for 2 vehicles, and so there's got to be
Ellie,
a
how do
ton
I
of
get the moon
stuff
buggy
here.
out of the shuttle?
There should be a button you can press to open its delivery bay.
And that'd need power to work, right?
Yeah? Why?
I think I broke the power supply back there. And now the control room is full of people.
Right. Hang on. It's okay. There should be some high-powered lasers in the hangar. You can use them to power up the shuttle. Wow. There is literally nothing you can't find with these online encyclopedias.
Okay, Anything else I should know?
The annual rainfall in Lego City?
Thanks, Ellie.
See, that's not even really a joke. Like, I don't even know what the deal was there. We could have used another one of those puzzles. That would have been fine. There's a LERV, whatever that is. Ooh, can she arrest somebody? Yes, she can. Good, and he'll just stay where he is for a while. My color gun will have no trouble shooting things and destroying them. I feel like some of the previous LEGO games have attempted to address the characters issue. Like, LEGO Star Wars did give you kind of random characters of a certain class when you were in free play mode. With the elimination of free play mode, it seems like that also got removed. It also had more characters than normal. Maybe it's the same characters we have now. Just shoot things, and these girders, I don't. Yeah, these girders like change color every time. So there was something about this that was supposed to happen, or there was just a system in place that things that don't really have a base color change into whatever. They never unlocked any kind of ability to walk on electric beams, which I'm fine with that. Like, very few instances does that make sense, but you could have given the astronaut that ability. Certainly. We'll have to come back and get that dynamite later. It's just a guy there. Just a guy minding his own business. So, what happens if I shoot this? Nothing. It doesn't even change color. I guess that's somewhat understandable. I have seen him change color before, so the game is just inconsistent. Fairly certain I did not have to come all the way over here before to get dynamite. Alright, so when we shoot that, it turns one color, then it turns another color. So this is just how things work. Alright, good to know. You know what's been nice is we haven't had any tea breaks. But I honestly don't know why that would have existed at all. Like, why not instead just have electrical panels that don't connect to anything? I'd much prefer that in mini levels. Right, where is this going to teleport me to? A whole different section. Really is just stuff everywhere in these levels. I guess you could get away with that. I guess this is a great example of if you need to hide things in a level, there's plenty of places you'll run into. There's the red brick. Right. So there's a new code, I think, here.
Did they get this thing out of a disco?
Alright, so do the corners. This. 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 This.
That was kind of like
And that.
hopscotch.
Not that I've ever played that.
Why would you be ashamed of playing hopscotch? You never once in your life as a child played hopscotch? Yeah, if you were gonna write that as a joke, you needed to write it like, not like I play hopscotch anymore. Or haven't played that since the playground incident of 2010, since this would have been a game that came out in 2012. So you said it at a reasonable, just a couple years before. Or you don't even have to set a date, and I haven't played hopscotch since the incident. And have a vague reference to something horrible happening as a joke. Let's see. There's a lot of doing the same thing over and over again in this level. I wasn't paying attention. I bet the notes probably are different for each color also, but I'm pretty much tone deaf, so I wouldn't recognize that. And now I've hit a
Laser
point where
one.
I've started wearing out
Connected.
my voice. That's not what I intended to do. I was just trying to shoot the vehicle itself, but it worked, so whatever. This almost feels like this was supposed to be the culmination of using all of the abilities up
Laser
until this
2.
point,
Connected.
as
Limited
if this
shuttle
was going to
systems
be the last
activated.
level. I mean, which that makes sense. Like it totally makes sense that this would have been the last level, or close to the last level. The fact that this stretches itself for another 9 levels after this is insane. Alright. What is this? That doesn't look like anything right now. And they do change color when they kind of lose all their texture when you shoot them. Alright, put this in. Up in here. Come on. Up you go. There's a vehicle. And over here is clearly an area. Feel like I'm entering on the wrong side of that, considering that de-electrifies that. Alright. 4 of those. What is this? Need a key card. And that is like, it says exit. So, yeah, I'm concerned how this is all gonna play out. 1, maybe I missed that one. 2, 3. Maybe this is what I'm missing also. There's a platform here, which this is where we were. Trying to see what it's looking at. So I think this just gives you the key card. Yeah, that would be my guess. And then the key card gives you this, which just moves the platform over. Which I guess I could go over there and move the platform back if I fell down. Or jump down, whichever I choose to do. Alright. Over here we saw something. It was right here. So it seems like what I did is I broke several things, but not everything. I broke one here too. Alright. So, am I missing one? Or like, because I think I get the moon buggy and then that's it for the level. There's 1 here, there's 2 there, there's 3 there. We've done all those. Did we break something over here? 4 there. But where is 5? It's not down. Oh, it is. It's down here. So I nearly screwed that up. And where does that put us as far as all the collectibles? I think we've got everything. If I can just reach this and then do this, I think that's gonna be it for this level. Well, not quite, but almost. Seems like it controls a little bit differently. Alright. Come on. That's what we needed. And out we go. And skip. So Super Astro Crate means no longer will we need to do the Simon puzzles on the space crates, although, well, they're called astro crates. I don't know why. Space crate makes a lot more sense. Space scientist and space villain, and a LERV, and a Guarano. We're probably gonna get 2 gold bricks. We're not really making. We only got 1 gold brick. Interesting. Not really making a lot of progress, frankly, as far as gold bricks go, but should be alright. And this leaves us right out here, so I don't think that there's a significant reason to try and run around and look for things on this island. There's probably a time trial or 2 I could do. Like, we're gonna have that be an issue, certainly. So we are almost to the 4 billion point, at which point I think, just to keep things interesting, we'll start purchasing things and unlocking things and see if that in some way changes our feelings of this game, because we've been playing as the same basic characters, or basic custom characters actually, for a long time now, and there's no real variety there. And if I was to switch between what I have and what I don't, it really wouldn't be much. Like, we are, frankly, we could just do it now. Like, we could purchase this for 80,000, 120,000, but we'll wait till we get to 4 billion, just to make sure. But you can see from this, there's a decent amount of characters that could be unlocked, so we are making progress towards that. Decent amounts of criminals. We haven't found any of the other miners, which I suspect all of these miners might be built around doing mining challenges, or doing all the mining challenges. We've found some, but not all, of the space people. Haven't really found too many farmers. Found a couple of the small selection of firemen. Like, this whole system is messed up, really, compared to LEGO Star Wars, where you would just have a large menu of characters. Separating them in class would make a lot of sense in the LEGO Star Wars games, where there was a lot of different characters in different classes. But what we're seeing more than anything is there's 3 subgroups here, or 4 subgroups of civilians that really don't have any abilities at all, and then a decent collection of police and criminals, and a ridiculously small amount of miners and astronauts and firefighters and farmers and construction workers. So yeah, the whole subdivision idea falls apart there. Vehicle wise, if I was to call in a vehicle, we can see there's a decent amount of vehicles also that I could just, from my instant vehicle red brick ability, purchase and spawn in. But what it doesn't allow me to purchase and spawn in is the important stuff, which would be a helicopter. So more often than not, you would probably just want to spawn in a performance vehicle or a police vehicle so that you could get there with the nitro as fast as possible. Which basically means this squatty car is probably your best car for the entire game. And there's the only way you can look at it is this way. So if you were a kid trying to build this with Lego pieces, you would have a little bit of trouble. Like, you'd have to have a significant amount of familiarity with the cars and the pieces available. In fact, I have quite a few cars I'd like to build, but I haven't built enough Lego cars in my lifetime, since I didn't play with Legos when I was a kid, to actually know how to do it right, based on the limited number of spare pieces I have. Alright, so we are at 39.9% done. We have 34 of 39 red bricks. We have 109 of 305 characters. So we really are in a good point to, after we get to 4 billion, just unlock the characters, and let's try to add some variety here. We, a while ago, got all 15 of the Lego True Superhero bars filled up, and that really didn't do anything for us at all. It didn't seem to unlock anything. We have 41 of 120 vehicles, so we're about a third of the way with the minifigs, about a third of the way with the vehicles. We are about a third of the way with the red bricks too, and we're much further, much closer to the end as far as, no, we're much closer as far as red bricks. We're about a third of the way with gold bricks. And as we unlock more things, they might be useful, but they're not really high priority. Yeah, everything is fine. I suppose to put it simply, like, we just need to keep on keeping on. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me even further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.